It all started back in 11th grade. I never, ever thought that a single person could come into my life and just change everything. Her name was Aisha. She was one of those people who just lit up a room. She was smart, incredibly funny, so confident, and she had this amazing ability to make any moment feel lighter just by being there. And then there was me, Mer, the quiet one, a little awkward, always with my nose buried in a book. On paper, we were complete opposites. But somehow, in that sea of faces at school, she noticed me. I can still picture the first day we really talked, clear as day. It was during chemistry class, of all places. I was fumbling with my things, and of course, I dropped my notebook. Papers went everywhere. Before I could even react, she bent down, gathered them all up, and handed them back to me with this easy, effortless smile. "You should really write neater," she said, her eyes twinkling with mischief. That was it. That was the start. It was so simple, so small, but for some reason, it felt unforgettable. From that day on, it was like a switch had been flipped. We started spending more and more time together. We'd get paired up for group projects, we'd sit together at lunch, we'd walk to our next classes side by side. She would always steal my fries, and I'd pretend to be mad, but then I'd help her with her math homework later, and everything was even. Slowly, without me even realizing it, those little, everyday moments started to mean more than they were supposed to. I started to notice things. I'd find myself just watching her. The way she'd throw her head back when she laughed, the way her hair would fall over her face when she was concentrating, the way she'd look at me with a pretend glare when I said something silly. My heart would do this weird little flip, this tiny jump in my chest. At first, I didn't understand why. Or maybe, deep down, I did, but I was just too scared to even admit it to myself. It was easier to ignore it, to label it as just friendship. I remember this one afternoon so vividly. School was over, and we were sitting on the swings in the playground, just talking. The sun was setting, and the sky was this incredible mix of pink and orange. It was one of those soft, quiet evenings that make everything feel like you're in a movie. She was swinging gently, looking up at the sky, and then she turned to me. "Mer," she asked, her voice soft, "have you ever really liked someone?" My throat went completely dry. I felt my cheeks get warm. I tried to play it cool, managing a small smile. "Maybe," I said, my voice barely a whisper. She grinned that amazing grin of hers. "Tell me who?" I just shook my head quickly, laughing to hide how nervous I suddenly felt. "No way," I said. She pouted, giving my shoulder a playful push. "You always keep secrets," she complained. And in that moment, I wanted to say it so badly. The words were right there, on the tip of my tongue. "It's you, Aisha. It's always been you." But they stayed trapped inside, caught in my throat. I was too afraid. As the months passed, those feelings just grew stronger, more impossible to ignore. Every time she'd give me a quick hug between classes, my heart would start racing like crazy. Every time our hands brushed or she'd grab my hand to pull me through a crowded hallway, my entire world just felt right. It felt like where I was supposed to be. But I kept telling myself over and over that this was just friendship. Best friends are close, right? This is normal. Because how could I possibly tell her the truth? What if she didn't feel the same way? The thought of losing her, of our friendship becoming awkward and distant, I couldn't bear it. Losing her completely was my biggest fear. Then came our school farewell party. The end of an era. The whole hall was buzzing with energy. Everyone was dressed up, taking pictures, laughing. Some were even crying. It was emotional. When it was our turn to take a picture together, she pulled me in close for the pose, our faces just inches apart. The camera flashed, but I barely noticed. She leaned in, her voice a soft whisper just for me. "You look beautiful tonight," she said. I completely froze. It wasn't just the words. It was the way she said them. It was so soft, so meaningful. It felt real. After the photo, we just stood there, looking at each other for what felt like an eternity. The music from the party was just a soft hum in the background. The rest of the world just melted away. Then, she broke the silence, her voice quiet and a little shaky. "Can I tell you something?" I could only nod, my heart pounding in my chest. She took a deep breath. I think I like you," she whispered, so quietly I almost thought I'd imagined it. More than a friend. My heart just stopped. For a solid second, the world went silent. I was sure I had misheard her. It couldn't be real. But then she smiled, a nervous, shy smile, and looked down at her shoes. That's when I knew. I reached out, my own hand trembling, and gently lifted her chin so she was looking at me again. You mean it? I asked, my voice cracking a little. She nodded, her eyes shining with a mix of hope and fear. And I don't know what came over me in that moment, courage maybe? Or maybe I just couldn't hold it back anymore. I just leaned in. Our lips met. It was soft, and we were both trembling, but it was full of everything we'd been holding back for so long. It wasn't some perfect movie magic kiss. We were nervous, our hands were shaking. It was probably a little awkward, but it was real. It was us. And for that one moment, the whole world disappeared. There were no labels, no fear of what anyone would think, no worries about the future. There was just love, pure and simple. After that night, everything changed. But it changed in this quiet, beautiful way. We started texting late into the night, sharing our favorite songs, talking about our biggest dreams. Sometimes when no one was looking, we'd walk to school holding hands. Other times, we'd find a quiet spot on the school rooftop and just talk for hours about college, about the future, about us. We were finally us. Of course, we knew not everyone would understand, so we kept it private, a little world that was just for the two of us. And honestly, it didn't matter, because for the first time in my life, I felt truly seen. I felt loved for exactly who I was. I felt free. Aisha once told me something I'll never forget. She said, "Love doesn't care if it's supposed to happen or not, it just does." And looking back, I know she was absolutely right. Now, when I think back to those school days, the shared laughter in the hallways, the stolen glances across the classroom, the soft, secret kisses behind the library shelves, I realized something important. It wasn't just a teenage crush. It was real. It was the kind of love that teaches you who you are, the kind of love that helps you grow. It's the kind of love that stays tucked away in a special corner of your heart, long, long after high school ends. Because she wasn't just my best friend. She was the first person I ever truly loved. And maybe, in some quiet part of my soul, I'll love her forever. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the heart. See you next time.